Good morning, family. I'm Brother Lazavian, and welcome to another 5 minutes of reflection, where I invite you to join me in reflecting on a particular verse or verses of Scripture from the Bible. Today, we will be looking at the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verses 3 through 7. And let's get into it. Verse 3. I thank God, whom I serve from my forefathers, with pure conscience, that without ceasing I have remembrance of thee in my prayers night and day, greatly desiring to see thee, being mindful of thy tears, that I may be filled with joy. When I call to remembrance the unfeigned faith that is in thee, which dwelt first in thy grandmother Lois and thy mother Eunice, and I am persuaded that in thee also. Wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of God, which is in thee by the putting on of my hands. For God hath not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Let's stop right there. Like many of you, maybe, I know verse 7. I got verse 7 down. That's an anchor scripture. I always have to remind myself at times that God has not given me the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. But when I meditated on this scripture, something else stuck out to me. And it's the fact that faith is an inheritance. And also how important our village is. Okay, what gave me that insight? One is in verse 3 when Paul said, I thank God whom I serve from my forefathers. And that word, when it says from my forefathers, it means as did my forefathers. Now, Paul said, okay, I thank God whom I serve as did my forefathers with pure conscience. Okay. So this is something that, what Paul is doing, his faith is something that he was doing in the faith his forefathers was doing, his ancestors were doing. Something that he inherited from them, something that he picked up from them. Okay? What about in verse 5? When he says, when I call to remembrance the unfeigned faith that is in thee, which means in you, which dwelt first in thy grandmother Lois and thy mother Eunice, and I am persuaded that in thee also. So he's saying that the faith that I see in you, Timothy, I seen in your grandmother and in your mother. So this is something that has been passed down. Sometimes we think that, we limit the preaching of the gospel to those in the fivefold ministry, or those with the fivefold ministerial gifts. But I'm here to tell you that lifestyle preaches just as well. And we learn from those who we're around the most, those in our village, our immediate family, those in our community, our pastors, those who serve in the churches, like ushers, those who over the ushers, those who over the choirs, police officers, anybody in the community that takes a part in helping those young ones develop. Okay, because this is what Paul is doing. He's encouraging Timothy to use the faith that he has, and faith has to be developed. You can have faith, but faith has to be developed, and those in your community help you develop that faith. Those in your village help you develop that faith. And I know on me personally, there were so many people that helped me develop the faith that I have in God. Family members, friends, clergy members. So I'm coming up on 5 minutes, guys, but I just want to encourage you to think about that and think about how important our village is and how important you are as a member of your village. Any little impact that you have on someone help build them up in the faith. I'm Brother Lazavian. I love you guys. And until next time, have a wonderful and blessed day.